You're streaming on GNN, the global news network. This is a special presentation of Japan Journal, the internet's #1 English language online cybercast from Japan. GNN is a network of TDM, Totown Digital Media, a division of Totown Communications Group Japan. And now your host, Malcolm W. Adams.
The sun is setting here in Japan, as you can see in the background, and the stars are bright, but we got a brand new star on the rise, and his name is Terence "Bud" Crawford, the undisputed pound-for-pound welterweight champion of the world in the new face of boxing. All right, we're back, ladies and gentlemen, here. So to continue, Terence Crawford administered a shocking breakdown of Errol Spence in their long-awaited unification bout on Saturday night, becoming the first undisputed welterweight champion in nearly 4 decades, while staking a credible claim as the world's best fighter, regardless of weight. Okay, so we know in this past week, we had young Inoue from right here in Tokyo who beat down Brother Fulton, but that Inoue is no joke. They second-guessed him. Okay, then they second-guessed my man Bud Crawford, and he proceeded to dominate, destroy, and devastate Errol, the untruth, Spence. That's my terms, okay? And I'm biased, trust me. So, look, details as we know them right now. This is immediately after the fight, and my video will be coming up subsequent to this report. But this is breaking news, as I call it. Crawford knocked down Spence in the 2nd round and twice more in the 7th round before referee Harvey Dott advisedly intervened at the 2 minutes and 32-second mark of round 9. No one in the sold-out crowd of 19,990 at the T-Mobile Arena would have protested if he had stopped it sooner in the 8th round. As I predicted, it would have been stopped. But that's another question. I'm not boasting in my prediction. I'm just sharing my faith and my understanding of what the whole punditry in boxing self-styled analyst would have you to believe that Spence was going to walk over this guy. Wrong. Let me continue. The matchup between undefeated American stars, more than 5 years in the making, was billed as the best fight that boxing could have delivered. But after an opening round that unfolded on even terms, it quickly spun into little more than a platform for Crawford's generational talent. The 35-year-old Omaha native stamped his name into boxing history with an extraordinary exhibition of power, precision, and ring generalship that made an elite opponent in Spence look like a novice. He beat him down like he was in a hammer fight, and Spence was the only one without a hammer, to quote my brother Noah Hickman. Crawford, 40-0, 31 knockouts, a former champion at 135 and 140 pounds, who went off as a slight favorite in Saturday's eagerly anticipated showdown, became the first fighter to hold all of the recognized world titles at welterweight since 1986, when Lloyd Honeyghan stopped Donald Curry at Caesars Atlantic City to capture the WBA, WBC, and IBF belts in one of the great upsets in British boxing history. Facts of history in boxing. It came, however, at the expense of Spence, 28-1, now 22 knockouts, a 2012 U.S. Olympian from the Dallas suburb of DeSoto, whose deliberate come-forward approach depended on generating pressure behind a methodical southpaw jab proved no match for Crawford's dynamic switch-hitting style and note-perfect counter-punching. Did you hear me? Precision, powerful, strong. To quote Bud, he says, "I only dreamed of being a world champion," who extended his streak of 11 straight knockouts including all 8 opponents he's faced since moving up to 147 pounds. He says, I'm an overachiever. Nobody believed in me when I was coming up. True story. But he says, I made everybody a believer tonight. I want to thank Spence and his team because without him, none of this would have been possible because Spence was, this is now on the side. This is an editorial comment from me because Spence was ducking for 5 years at the hands of Brother Heyman, who runs that promotional faction in the boxing game. That's a whole nother story about the politics of the fight. But they ran and they couldn't run any longer because Spence could not deny Bud the opportunity to get this beatdown that he accomplished. Spence was a busier fighter in the opening rounds, using his jab as a range finder and targeting Crawford's midsection. But the naturally bigger man, he used deft footwork and a dedicated body attack to move Crawford backward into the second. But when he overextended himself with a right hand to the body that badly missed the target, Crawford made him pay with a counter delivered with pinpoint accuracy that dumped him to the canvas for the first time in 29 professional fights. It only went downhill from there. The wounded champion came out for the third round, intent on showing his fighting spirit was intact, bursting into the pocket with heavy shots that his foe parried and blocked with ease. By the fourth, the Texan was bleeding from a cut over his right eye as the gulf in hand speed was laid bare. Crawford coolly operated with surgical precision, using his jab as a power punch as Spence walked into one thudding shot after another. Quote, he was just throwing the hard jab, Spence said. He was timing with his jab. His timing was just on point. I wasn't surprised by his speed or his accuracy. It was everything I thought, end quote. Now, the punishment continued to mount in the fifth and sixth as Crawford badly mistreated his flagging opponent, leaving his face bloodied and swollen. It was nasty. It was not pretty to look at. If you didn't know then, now you know. Spence went down a second time under a combination of punches early in the seventh, and then again from a heat-seeking right hook before the end of the round. Woo-hoo! And from there on, it was only a matter of time. A famously ruthless finisher. You all know that. Oh, dog, thug, yeah. Don't let him smell blood. You're done. Crawford poured it on until Spence was left defenseless on rubbery legs in the ninth round. Well, he was defenseless and rubbery in the eighth as well, but the clock saved him. There went my prediction, but I'll accept that. I'll take it. Beat him down for 8 rounds and then finished him off in the ninth. Let's say that. Okay, so once the Omaha Southpaw landed a series of 9 straight uncontested blows, the referee was left with no choice but to wave it off. And he could have done it just as well, justifiably, in the 8th round, in my humble opinion, but I digress. Crawford said it was a good stoppage, even admitted that himself. He said, I was on the verge of coming back with some hard shots. Everybody knows I'm a great finisher. The ref did what he was supposed to do to protect the fighter, end of quote. CompuBox's punch statistics lent quantitative context to Crawford's sheer dominance. He connected on a remarkable 185 of 369 blows. That's a 50.1% rate, including 98 of 163 power shots. That's a 60.1% rate. Spence was limited to 96 of 480 punches landed, 20% rate, including a scant 33 of 296 of his jab. That's an 11.1% rate. Shameful display. You can't blame it on anything else, but he was outclassed, overpowered, disrespected, beat down. Give me some more verbs to describe. what happened to it. So Spence said about Crawford, he was just better tonight. He was using the jab. My timing was a little bit off. He was just a better man tonight. That's all that needs to be said, and that's all he should say. He should leave it right there. But he said he didn't want to make excuses, as if there were any excuses that could have been made. In my humble opinion, there were not. Spence has made no secret of his desire to leave 140-some pounds behind for good. That's what he should. But he didn't hesitate for a moment when asked whether he plans to exercise his option for a replay. Quote, "We got to do it again," said Spence. "I'm going to be a lot better. It'll be a lot closer. It'll probably be in December and the end of the year. I say we go do it again. Hopefully it will happen at 154. So there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. My homeboy, Terence Bud Crawford, and the homeboy of all my friends and family from Omaha, Nebraska. We got two superstars in Omaha right now, Bud Crawford and Warren Buffett. All right, ladies and gentlemen, that's going to do it. Another edition of Japan Journal here on the Global News Network, GNN, and Japan Journal, the internet's #1 weekly English language online cybercast from Japan, with yours truly, Al Adams here, bidding you farewell and sayonara from Japan.
Here we go.
Peace.
Oh, 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 oh! Stop it! Oh, baby! About one round. Ah! Stop the fight, save that boy. Got a lot of life ahead of him. Yes! Look at it! Omaha! Where you at? So mad. Nah, there's never any doubt, mama.
You're tuned to GNN, the Global News Network, a division of Totown Communications Co. Limited. Totown presents Japan Journal. Japan Journal with Mal Adams, the internet's #1 English language weekly online cybercast from Japan. From GNN, the Global News Network, a division of Totown Communications Co. Japan. Japan Journal with Mal Adams, a Black Buddha Productions joint of Japan.